How's it going, guys? It's Ryan for Perfect by Definition. We're here interviewing Ryan Weber. He is a men's physique competitor and the owner of FitEnomics.com.
What's going on, guys?
So we're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to split this up into a few different videos, and we're going to cover a lot of categories. We're going to cover fitness modeling, FitEnomics, his website, physique, the men's physique division, and nutrition and philosophy. So you guys are going to learn a lot from this. All right, let's get started on fitness modeling.
Sure.
What would you say you would do to basically prepare for a shoot? Say you know you have a month. All right, you have a month to prepare for a shoot. Now, I don't have very much experience in fitness modeling. I know you do. What do you do? What are the first steps you take to ensure a successful shoot?
Well, definitely what you brought up, timing is going to be a big part of it. So as far as my experience in fitness modeling, it actually started out just regular modeling. I was approached several years back. Someone came up to me as simple as, hey, you have a nice look, maybe you should try doing some modeling. You know, being a typical guy, kind of like, ah, yeah, whatever. I kind of just shrugged it off. After I thought about it, I went and tried out. Lo and behold, I got a couple of gigs. Eventually kind of parlayed into more fitness modeling because they realized that I was in shape, and a lot of the models they get, typically for your regular fashion, they want to keep those guys so thin and out of it, they really don't have much muscle mass.
Yeah.
So when a certain shoot calls for that, okay, cool, if they have somebody in the books, we'll get this guy. So that being said, a month out, you know what, that would be great if we actually had a month to get ready.
Yeah.
Usually I get a call and it's like, hey, can you be here tomorrow? Can you be here in 2 days? It's quick.
Wow.
So really what I can tell you is if you're interested in getting into any kind of modeling, especially fitness modeling, there really is no off season. You're on season all season. So with that being said, you really want to make sure you get yourself into a certain point where you can actually just be in good shape when you're comfortable with yourself and how you look, and pretty much just be ready for a shoot. So if you know you have a fitness shoot, a couple of things you can do quickly. Obviously safety is going to be the biggest thing, so make sure whatever you do here, you know, you check with a physician or you check with a nutritionist, whatever, to make sure it's going to be safe and okay for you. But limiting your carbs, increasing your protein, and also dropping water. So, you know, it's kind of hard to manipulate those things a day or two before. If I have a photo shoot the next couple of days, I obviously will cut out all sugar and all dairy immediately. So no sugar, no dairy. Both of those things are going to help you actually retain more water, more fat. You actually want to increase your water a day or two before a shoot, so you can kind of make sure your body's flushing out and cleaning the system out. And then the day of the shoot, depending on how many hours you have, you want to cut your water out. And you might be a little bit thirsty, but it's one of those things where the idea of increasing the water and cutting it out, you increase the water so your body gets used to actually producing more urine, so you excrete more fluids. And with that, you also help to kind of like flush out different toxins and everything else that's built up in the body. And then by ultimately cutting off the water, your body kind of gets in a state, if you were drinking a lot of water for a period of time, your body's used to making all this extra urine. So when you actually just cut off the water altogether, your body's still in that state of making the increased amount of urine. So you actually drop water. Okay. And by dropping water, what they're supposed to do if you do it right, and doing it in a day or two is actually very tough. You really need like a week or two.
Yeah, I've read that.
Yeah. It helps everything get more tight, more sunken in, so you look more defined for the camera. Other than that, your protein, you want to keep everything high as far as protein is concerned to support the lean muscle, and pretty much, you know, just go from there. So what are you going to do in 1 or 2 days? That's going to be really difficult. That's usually how it goes down. If you have a whole month, then obviously you can go ahead and manipulate the carbohydrates, manipulate your protein. You have a whole week to work on how much food and how much water you're going to take in, and then go from there.
Cool. Yeah, that's very informative. Now that we've touched on diet, what do you think is the first step for someone who wants to become a fitness model, who wants to get photo shoots, and who wants to get their name out there?
First step meaning how?
Alright, here, let's say I've decided I am going to be a fitness model, okay? What's the first thing I do?
Well, you have to be in shape, obviously.
Okay.
And then the next thing, once you're in shape, you have to kind of find a way to differentiate yourself. How are you going to stick out from the crowd? How are you going to make your entrance into the market? So, you know, kind of what's your story? What's your catch? Okay. A lot of guys, a lot of women can have, you know, that good-looking physique, can be attractive, and say, oh, look at me, you know, I'm a model, I'm a fitness model. Yeah, that's great. But because there's so many people out there like that, working towards the same thing, You need something that's going to kind of make you stand apart from other people. If you look at the #1 fitness model right now, Greg Plitt, what differentiated Greg Plitt from everybody else? Well, he had a great look. He was in great shape. He was, Army Ranger, the Army career. Not every single person that you come into contact with can be an Army Ranger.
For sure.
It's really intense training. It's grueling work ethic, and it's cool. It's kind of like you're a badass person if you're an Army Ranger. So combine the two, it kind of gives him a different presence. So that's what differentiated him. So for anybody else, kind of figure out what it is about you that is different, that's special, and you want to kind of pitch your story that way.
Right.
As far as trying to get into the market, you can do it a couple different ways. It may so happen that someone's going to walk up to you and approach you and say, hey, you have a great look, give it a shot. Okay, great. It's going to happen to a small percentage of people.
Okay.
Other than that, you can go ahead and search for modeling agencies. Go ahead and get some photos done. So you have to get pictures done. Go to a trusted photographer, somebody who's used to doing the work that you're looking for, and make sure you pay him for the photographs.
Okay.
Because you want to have those photographs so you can actually send them around, you can own them, and then use them for your advantage. Some places will offer to shoot you, but they want all the rights to the photographs. You can't use them unless you get their permission. You have to sign off. It becomes a whole mess. Just go to somebody, pay them, and then once you do that, you can actually look in all the fitness magazines and see who the photographers are. You can actually lay out, 10 different fitness magazines, go through, and you kind of start to see there's a pattern. There's a lot of the same photographers are shooting these same people. So go ahead, find out what that photographer's contact information is, and go ahead, send them some pictures, send them a story, and, best of luck. See what happens.
Okay.
It's better than doing nothing. If you're going to sit around and just think one day, hey, it's just going to happen for you, nothing's going to happen to anybody who just sits there and waits for it. You have to actively go out and seek your dreams and try to follow and pursue something that way.
For sure.
But that is a good way to start it out. You may hear several different other ways to do it, and better advice than that, but at least it's a start.
Now, you said that you got noticed. Was that at a physique competition?
When I first got into modeling, it had nothing to do with fitness or physique. I was actually just kind of walking around one day at the mall. Somebody came up to me and said, hey, I'm a photographer. Look like you're in shape. You should consider modeling. I looked at the guy, took his card, kind of laughed, and he walked away, threw it in the trash. That was the first one.
Right.
More I thought about it and had a chance would have it, ran into the guy again. Ended up getting together, doing some work with him, did the first photo shoot, and it came out pretty well. After that, a few people saw it, sent it to an agency, they liked it, started getting some work, and then I actually took a long break from it. Kind of life came up and just really didn't want anything to do with it, whatever. It wasn't until probably a couple of years ago when I did start competing, somebody saw me at the beach, same thing, hey, you got a good look, why don't you try this out? I went in, and from that point on, the photo shoot went really, really well. I had a much more professional work ethic as far as the modeling was concerned this time. And really, I got myself to a point where it wasn't just fitness modeling, but it was fitness and fashion, to a point where I was getting a job offer, and still do every couple of weeks. Wow. So, it's not by any means going to be able to sustain my living, but it's a nice side little income, and it's been a lot of fun.
Cool. All right, so the next question was how do you find photo shoots? But you've kind of already addressed that, where you have to create your story, and you have to send it out, and you have to basically market yourself.
Right.
So the next question would be, from your experience, you already mentioned a good work ethic. What are the major qualities that will ensure a successful career as a fitness model?
You got to do what you say you're going to do. You need to show up. When you show up, be excited, be energized. If the photographer needs some help moving equipment around, go ahead. Don't be afraid to, not offer any help. Help them out. Help to move a couple of things. Ask them, hey, is there anything I can do a little bit better? Go ahead and always actively seek feedback.
Okay.
When you walk on the scene and you kind of have an attitude like, hey, I'm a model. You don't want to get that kind of, an ego about you. Yeah. You want to stay humble. You want to always remember, each job you go on could be your last, because modeling, let's say, it's a very, finicky, picky, and different type of field. So you have to conduct yourself in a professional manner all the time. Show up early. Early is really on time. Don't be afraid to help out, and always try to get better. Ask for advice. See what you do in your photos. Get some coaching. There's a whole bunch of different things you can really do to make sure you have that successful career. But I think when push comes to shove, when they look back and say, you know what, we need somebody quickly who can do this job, who's going to be available, who's easy to work with, who's fun to work with.
Okay.
They're obviously going to pick that kind of a person first, rather than somebody who walks in and thinks they're a diva and is late and has all this drama and,
Yeah.
you know, oh my God, you know, no one wants to deal with it. Not today. Because you know what? There's going to be somebody else right behind you or the next person who say, yeah, I'll take the job. So always, always just be at your best and try to get better.
Okay, cool. What do you do in regards to your tan? Like, I know tan and lighting is it's a pretty important aspect. I mean, obviously diet comes as a priority to that, but what do you do in regards to tan? As you know, we live in Ohio, so there isn't very much sun, so we look like vampires the majority of the year.
You know, skin prep's important. Probably one of the safer ways to do it. If you know you have some time, you want to go ahead and exfoliate. You want to do that for about a week leading up to the photo shoot. You don't want to put on any kind of body lotion or anything like that. It's going to absorb in and soften the skin. You do get kind of dry, you do get kind of flaky, you do get a little bit itchy, but then when you go ahead and get a spray tan, it's going to adhere much better. It's going to come out much more even, and your color's going to look good. It's going to look on point.
Cool.
You can also go to a tanning booth and take in a whole bunch of artificial rays. Some people may have a problem with that because it's not necessarily healthy.
Yeah.
And then depending on what time of the year it is, if it's summertime, you know, you can go outside and get some of that natural stuff.
Cool.
But that's probably going to be your best bet right there. And also, depending on the type of photographer you're going to be working with, they know what to do and how to work the lighting to make you look your best. So it's not always up to you, but also working with a good photographer. It's very important. Yeah, that's going to pretty much help out, bring the best color.
Yeah, cool. All right, that pretty much wraps it up for the fitness modeling aspect of this video. So physique is next, and we're going to cut this video here. So click on this link here, and you can learn about his experience as a physique competitor.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Cool.